So let's start off at the top here. Joe Gibbs Racing no longer going to have a ban on dirt racing. This is going to be huge for Christopher Bell. I'm sure there's going to be some other drivers that want to drive. Probably, well, let's jump into this article here from Jayski first, and we'll talk about it. After more than 2 years, the football coach turned NASCAR team owner, this is actually from The Athletic, I take that back, turned a NASCAR team owner will largely lift the restrictions that prohibited his cup drivers from extracurricular racing on dirt. The decision comes as the team prepares to add a second driver with a dirt background to its cup roster in 2025. Chase Briscoe is joining Christopher Bell, plus new interest in dirt racing from a third driver, Ty Gibbs. And there you go. That is the big one. Ty Gibbs said, "Grandpa, I want to race on dirt." And so now all the JGR drivers can go race on dirt. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Ty Gibbs has decided that Joe Gibbs racing drivers can race on dirt. That 100% in my mind is exactly what went down. There is nobody that can argue any differently that that's what happens. But regardless of how it happened, it benefits Christopher Bell and Chase Briscoe and dirt fans all around the world that rocking Ty Randall Gibbs has decided that it's okay to go dirt racing. Doesn't really affect Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin, I don't think, has any desire to race in a dirt car. And if you saw Kyle Busch was having a hard time getting in and out of his dirt car if you watch the video. So the older you get, probably the less easy it gets to get in and out of those dirt cars as well. So another reason probably Denny Hamlin has no interest in it. But good news for the other Joe Gibbs racing drivers. All right, JTG Doherty is going to rebrand, and that, of course, comes on the heels of RFK announcing that they have Kroger. And because of the rebrand, or because Kroger leaving, that's why they are going to rebrand. It's going to be Hyatt Motorsports. Hyatt is the name of his last name Smith. I can't think of his first name off the top of my head, but that's the name of his yacht company, Hyatt, whatever, luxury cruisers, whatever it is. But that's the name of his yacht company. So it's now going to be the name of the racing team. Hyatt Motorsports is now the name of JTG Doherty, or formerly JTG Doherty. So that, of course, in response to RFK and Kroger picking up a huge sponsor, and they also announced a new driver here as well. So a lot to get into from this press release here from RFK, including what all is coming with the sponsorship. But Ryan Preece will be driving the number 60, and Kroger will be on all three of the cars for Roush Fenway Keselowski. So let's see here. Amongst the things that are going to be on there, Kroger's relationship with JTG Doherty Racing and most recently Ricky Stenhouse Jr. have been really something special, says Brent Cox, Director of Health and Baby Care. This is from the Roush press release. Everyone at Kroger and all our participating sponsors wish the team and Ricky nothing but the best and thank them for all that they've done for us over the years. We are excited to continue working with Tad and Jody Gesticker. I can't say that word, through their marketing firm, BAM, Brand Activation Maximizer. As we move into this new chapter with RFK Racing, BAM will continue to represent Kroger Racing Program, and we know it's in good hands with their team. So there you go. The former owners are going to be working with RFK and their sponsorship deal through their BAM organization. And what that brings over brand wise is going to be a few things other than Kroger, of course. You remember the Ricky Stenhouse paint schemes. They always had something else other than Kroger on them. And so Bimbo Bakeries, which makes bread, that's going to be one of the key sponsors. So you're going to see a Bimbo bread car there most likely next season. So that's pretty exciting. But you're also going to see Cottonelle, Kleenex, Viva, Scott's brands. So look for them. They're going to be on there as well. Another one that you're going to see is going to be General Mills. So we might see another Cheerios car. I haven't seen a Cheerios car in a little while. I think I'll take that back. He might have run one, but it'll be cool. It'll be interesting to see how they do it. If it'll be an all Cheerios car, if it's going to be the Kroger split on the hood as well. Coca-Cola also coming with them. So, you saw Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Last year in the 47 run a Coca-Cola car. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not he runs, if Coca-Cola sticks with Ricky Stenhouse or if they're going all the way over with Roush Fenway. So Coca-Cola going with them. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But the one that I'm really excited about here, Oscar Mayer hot dogs and Heinz ketchup. So we have a chance. I don't know if you guys remember way back in the day, we used to have a Heinz 57, number 57 car that Hut Strickland drove. We have a chance to throw back to the Heinz ketchup car. So that's going to be really cool. We've got the Oscar Mayer hot dogs back in the Roush land. So you might see the hot dog number 6 or the hot dog number 60 Oscar Mayer car again, like back in the day, like, back when they sponsored this guy, Ryan Newman, back when he had the hot dog car. So that's going to be pretty cool. They're trying to get into the mayonnaise game. They're going to do craft mayonnaise. Good luck. I feel like everybody is either a Hellman's or a Duke's person, but they're trying to push the craft mayonnaise. So you will see a mayonnaise car. That'll be interesting. But Lunchables, interesting that they specifically mentioned Lunchables. I guess they're feeling the heat from the Paul. Who is it? Which Paul brother? One of the Paul brothers and Mr. Beast, and the other guy that they associate with. I can't. Is it KSI? They've got Lunchly, so I guess Oscar Mayer is going to start pushing Lunchables because they feel like that's a threat. They want to make sure they capitalize on the market of terrible lunch for your children. Also, Celsius. This was a big one. I wasn't expecting this either, especially since they announced that they got the Coke deal. But Celsius said they're also thrilled to partner with Kroger Racing. So Celsius is going to be on the side of that number 60, or at least some of the RFK cars as well. So just a lot of sponsors, and that's just to name a few. Like Red Baron, that's another one. I meant to mention that one earlier. Also, Red Baron also going to be part of that deal. So the Red Baron number 90 that Ken Schrader used to drive, maybe we get a throwback to that paint scheme as well. Just super cool, and that's going to be through the Schwann's consumer brand, which is also linking up with this Kroger racing deal. So it's going to be super cool. Allegra's involved as well, so we're going to see an Allegra car. Blue Buffalo. So what is that? Is that dog food? I think that's dog food. So all kinds of sponsors coming to RFK, and that's going to be a huge deal. That's going to be a huge deal. I didn't see anywhere where they announced where they're getting the charter from. So I think we're still sort of in limbo as far as that goes. But I couldn't find anything on that. But they got plenty of sponsorship, and it's going to be really cool to see what they do with those paint schemes going forward. So that is the RFK and JTG news. Travis Mack, most famously, I guess, for Junior Motorsports, and then he was at Trackhouse as Daniel Suarez crew chief, and then last year he worked at Hendrick for a period of time as well. He sort of bounced back and forth between Junior Motorsports and Hendrick for a while. Then he went, I think, to Trackhouse. Then last year he went to he was like overseeing Colleague or something like that. Well, he is now going to be with Legacy Motor Club. The club, I think, is what they want to be dubbed as for this next season coming up. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can bring over there. He's going to be the crew chief for John Hunter Nemechek. Of course, last week they announced that they got Chad Johnston. He's going to be sort of directing their engineering efforts over there. So they're starting to put some people in place. You couldn't go much further down, but hopefully this is going to be sort of the rise for Legacy. Hopefully last year was as bad as it gets if you're a Legacy Motor Club fan. Or a 43 fan or just whatever. Hopefully last year is as bad as it gets because they're starting to put some people in place and some people with some experience, some people with some talent. So that is definitely going to be a good thing over there. So hopefully it works out for them. TNT Motorsports and, of course, Amazon announced their announcing team, and it's going to be Steve Letarte, Adam Alexander, and some Dale Earnhardt Jr. guy. He must be a new guy. I don't know. Hopefully it works out. But anyway, Adam Alexander, he's got a ton of experience, and a lot of people have been asking for him to be on there. Steve Letarte, he's got how long has he been doing it for NBC now? Probably close to a decade at this point. And then Dale Jr. He did great at NBC. A lot of people appreciated what he did over there at NBC, and just overall doing a lot of stuff for motorsports in period. This here article is from AmazonNews.com. And let's see. Play-by-play commentator Adam Alexander, analyst Steve Letarte will join the previously announced Dale Earnhardt Jr. NASCAR Hall of Fame and two-time Daytona 500 champion in the broadcast booth for TNT sports coverage of the NASCAR Cup Series. We're excited to welcome Adam, Steve, and TNT to the TNT sports family. Joining Dale in the booth to give race fans a thoughtful, entertaining, engaging experience, said Craig Berry, Executive Vice President and Chief Content Officer of TNT Sports. Their passion and knowledge of the sport delivered in a more conversational format will create a compelling narrative for each race and enhance the coverage for viewers as NASCAR returns to our platforms next year. So that's cool. I'm not a huge. I really don't care. I'll be honest with you. I really don't care who announces the races as long as I don't notice them. If I notice them, they're doing a bad job. If I don't notice them, they're doing a great job. So as long as I don't notice them, they'll do a good job. I think that's a good team there, and I think they will do a good job. All right, on to Pickle Todd. Pickle Todd is going to be driving the Loves Machine, next year. He will be number 34, and it's led to a lot of speculation as to what number Noah Gregson will run. Will he run the number 4? Will he run the number 38? But it's kind of cool that Todd Gilliland is going to be running this. Let's read this article or this press release here from Front Row Motorsports. Todd Gilliland will enter the 2025 NASCAR Cup season with a new yet familiar colors. Gilliland will pilot the number 34 Loves Travel Stops Ford Dark Horse Mustang for Front Row Motorsports. Todd will follow his father's footsteps. Follow in his father David's footsteps in representing the Loves colors at Front Row Motorsports. Loves enters its 13th consecutive season with Front Row Motorsports. That's amazing. That's going to be really cool going forward because you'll always remember the number 34 Loves car, regardless of who's driving it. So that's going to be a cool thing. Hopefully they can keep that going. It was David Gilliland who first raced the Loves livery in the 2013 Daytona 500. David went to the race for the company in 2014, 2015, giving Front Row Motorsports partner their first pole and top 5 finish. And of course, and the article goes on, it says, really humbling to race the 34 Loves Travel Stops Ford Mustang beginning next season, said Gilliland. It's just another cool comment, another cool moment in my career to race for a company that represented my father at Front Row Motorsports. The 34 Ford is what started Front Row Motorsports in the Cup Series, and there is a lot of history with Loves. Front Row Motorsports, my family. I still remember watching my dad race the Loves Ford. So there you go. Silly season in full effect. Going to be super cool to see him race that. The connection to his dad, of course, his dad, I feel like drove the 38. I can't really remember that far back, but I think he drove the 38. So I was expecting them to keep the number 38 and switch the sponsor over, but it totally makes sense for him to just go over there and drive the 34 because that's what it's been associated with for the longest time now. So taking over the 34, but keeps the same sponsorship, and you sort of keep that connection with the family. So I think it's really going to be just a cool thing to see next season. And also 2311 announced that they're going to be announcing their new driver Riley Herbst allegedly next year. So tomorrow, their new driver for next year, Riley Herbst, allegedly. So Riley Herbst will be announced tomorrow, and we can finally stop saying allegedly. I was hoping today we would announce Zane Smith driving for Front Row Motorsports, so we don't have to say allegedly on that anymore either. But I guess we must wait. All right, so let's jump into the comments and see what you guys want to talk about. But with all this silly season movement, it did have me thinking of the all the drivers now from Stuart Haas Racing have there, and I wish I had a 5th option because I could have put Cole Custer in here, but YouTube only gives me 4. But who do you think has the better season next year of the previous Stuart Haas drivers? Ryan Preece in the 60, Noah Gregson with whatever number he's going to run, Josh Berry in the 21 for the Wood Brothers, or Chase Briscoe in the 19 for, of course, Joe Gibbs Racing. And then I wish I had a 5th option because we could get Cole Custer in there just driving for Haas next year. But of those drivers I mentioned, who do you think is going to have the better year early on? 57% thinking it's going to be Chase Briscoe. Josh Berry in second place with 20%, and 14% for Noah Gregson, 9% for Ryan Preece. So not a lot of Ryan Preece believers out there. Ryan Preece has not had a great Cup career, but he also has not been in great equipment, so he's still kind of a wild card. We know he's really good in modifieds. We know he's really good in the Xfinity series, and he's had some good runs in truck, pretty high winning percentage in trucks, but has yet to be in really good Cup equipment. So we don't know what he's got in the Cup series. We're going to find out next year because he is, of course, in good equipment for the first time, I feel like, in his career, at least very, very elite equipment for the first time in his career. No backhanded compliments or shots at SHR or because they were going out of business. He got there at a bad time. And of course, no backhanded compliments to JTG Doherty because they did the best they could with what they had. All right, let's jump into the comment section and see what you guys want to talk about. I hope